This is Beck, and welcome back to Pattern Drafting Hell. Okay, as you can see, I have made thick black line for the stuff that actually is relevant. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all these pieces up, and then I'm going to get another 2x3 going this way instead of longwise, so that I have room for the next thing. And then I'm going to trace slightly the pattern pieces, well, the block pieces, and then from that I'm going to edit that to make the actual pattern. And this has no seam allowance whatsoever. This is just your basic drafting block. So, a little work ahead of me. I'm going to do a magical cinematic snap my fingers, and this will be cut out, and it will be traced onto new paper. And we're back. Look at this beautiful thing. A little hard to see, but it's drawn in pencil. I've got the center back marks and the front mark, the breast point marks. It's all good. This is a new sheet of taped together paper. So now we're going to actually design, based on my previous notes, the bottom. First off, we're going to take this point here and we're going to chop that off. Okay, in order to make the full neck piece lay properly, that's going to be a separate piece so that the seam will help it want to bend at that area. We're going to measure down 5 cents, we're going to draw across at the breast point, measure down 5 centimeters, and that's going to be the end of the center front of the bodice. Now it actually dips down at about here-ish, is where it's going to meet the bottom again. So now we have the bottom edge of that, and then the rest of the bottom edge is just going to follow the normal line. So bottom edge, and the very top edge before the neck thingy is right here. That's that line, but it's not going to be this entire thing. I just drew off. Since this, we don't need this. There's the darts. Out here is where it's going to be like starting to severely go in. It has to be the widest here. This line is going to be, this is kind of arbitrary, but this is based on what I've thought about and designed before. So we're going to take, this isn't going to matter in a second, and let's take one. How wide do you want the neck thingy to be at its tiniest point? Her neck is about the same size, so that seems about appropriate. About 5 centimeters. So we're going to have 2.5 centimeters, 1.5 centimeters down from this point. We're going to have our tiniest point. Because remember, everything gets divided in half because this is a fold over part. So this is the tiniest point, and it has to very quickly go out past here. going to quick consult a guide to make a princess-themed bodice. So I'll do it like that. Okay, guide consulted, and that will be linked in the description. But let me quick make some alterations to this. That dart's moved over to make a more viable princess scene. Take the original dart width at that point. With a slight curve. And it's just a guide. I'm not going to end up doing that because the actual bodice is going to end here. It's going to sweep up. It's almost like a band around her. That's what I'm going to find. A little dip in this. Just so that it goes so right. I think the bodice is actually mostly constructed. All we need to do now is do a little bit of transplanting so I can make a belt. Because this has the belt thing, and I'm going to have it follow the curve of the bodice. And I also need to make the little neck thing. So what we're going to do is we're going to have another step. Okay, we're back. Now you can see that I have transplanted what was once the top of this pattern to the bottom because we don't want to waste paper, if possible. Now, I was thinking while I was doing this that perhaps the waistline of this can be moved up. That looks pretty good. For the belt, what we're going to do is we're just going to draw straight down from all these. So from the base it's going to be about 2 inches. And that's about 5 centimeters. So we're going to measure down at this point 5 centimeters. Now you can actually see what I'm doing. That is a very wide belt, so I like that. Then in the back, but let's do what my original is. That looks better. So we're going to erase these lines. So we have a slightly thicker in front than in the back. But it's not ridiculously thick like it was before. However, You're going to have to note the 5 centimeter raise for the skirt and act accordingly, basically. Just like add some more to the front of the skirt until it lays correctly. There we have it. This can probably be just kind of taped on to this piece. After I, make sure it actually lines up properly. These can be one pattern piece once I tape them together. I still have a look. And basically this will be one pattern piece. This will be another. I'm going to have another separate one for the throat, which I can draw quick. And this is going to be the belt, which is going to have a belt front, and then afterwards is going to be just like this long piece, because this is the actual waistline here, and the belt actually goes above her natural waistline, so it has to curve in a bit for it to fit properly. So, time to do a very quick draw of what the neckband needs to be. I'm going to give myself our neck measurement plus an inch, because how do you know it's a perfect fit? I cut this properly. Now, I wanted it to be inches. That'd be good, and I can always make it smaller. I'm going to erase this thing that's the center back because this is neck. This is going to be green lines, by the way, and since I'm taping these two together, it's not going to matter. The reason why I'm specifying gold is because I'm going for the actual overlay pattern, since it's going to be it's going to have little ruffles on it. I have to add extra fabric to certain parts of it, which means I'm probably just going to ignore a couple darts and whatnot to overlay it, because it's really only supposed to be ruffly in the front, so I'm just going to ignore some darts. And that is me creating the bodice design. That's all for today.